Very good question. So the first thing that's interesting about that is that a lot of times, again, going back to this idea of trust, the landowner says, okay, well, what can I expect? One of the things we're very clear about saying is, we don't promise you that you're going to get a certain amount of money necessarily, but we do, based now off of thousands and thousands of reservations, have a really good idea about what the market will bear. And if your objective is to achieve, let's just say, covering your tax bill for the year, we have a way that we can show you the best route to getting to that, okay? So that first check comes in the mail from them, and they're like, hey, this is real, right? And the checks keep coming, the reality is we have everything from 2 acres to 2,000 acres. So the revenue expectations vary widely. One of the things that we've always been very clear about, especially as we launched this thing, was we weren't going after pieces of property that were already producing revenue. We were going after people that were kind of latent, okay? So I've never had somebody pay me to use my land, or if I did, it was some guy from across the street who cut my wood in return for letting me have access to it. There's never been a monetary transaction involved. Now all of a sudden they start to have a value that my property is actually worth more than maybe I thought it was. Or maybe the only way that I've ever had somebody offer to use my land was paying me a fixed price per acre, which was arbitrarily set by whatever they thought it was worth. Now all of a sudden people are coming in and saying, I want to pay you for the day to be able to use your property. And this is, again, we don't promise this to landowners, but the reality is that if the going rate on a traditional lease in a given area is paying that landowner $7 or $8 per acre, we have seen empirically that we're producing significantly larger returns for the landowner than what that old model works, and with far less use of the property and not handcuffed to a long-term lease. Second thing that you asked is how to that disintermediation, and I'm going to let that go to Jamie because that's such a cool word, and he taught it to me, so I'm going to let him talk about it.
It's a great question because it's one of the huge risks in a two-sided marketplace like we're in is that people will try to go around you. So a couple ways we do that. One, insurance. We provide that insurance. If you're going to have another person come out, you've got to get the insurance, which can cost hundreds or thousands of dollars. Second, the member would really, one of the things with membership that we do is we establish this trust with our members that they're part of our community. And so if they disintermediate, they're putting their membership at risk. And so if you think about that, I like to say that if you're a rock band and you come to Richmond and you go to the hotel and you trash the hotel, you can just go to the next city and trash the next hotel, and the next city and trash the next hotel. But what if all these hotels knew each other and could tell the next hotel that, hey, they're coming and don't let them in? We're that. So if you have a bad experience, if you're a landowner, with one of our members, or if there's disintermediation, the risk you run is that you will lose your membership, which isn't just access to that one property, it's hundreds of properties. And as we grow, thousands of properties.
Do you actually go out and visit each property? You talked about the interview process, wishing it took 50 minutes and it took a half a day.
Great question. Yes, we do right now. We do. So one of the, we're serial entrepreneurs, and so we've learned a few things along the way. And one of our philosophies is that when you're starting a business, you do things that are not to scale so that you can get to scale. One of the big rookie mistakes that entrepreneurs make is that when they start, they think, I've got to treat this business as if I'm at scale, so I can't visit every landowner because when we're big, we can't do that. This is the only time in our business, we hope, because we're growing, when Buck and I, and we do this every week, we're out meeting with members, we're meeting with landowners, this is the chance that we're going to have in our business to meet these people, understand them, talk to them, spend 5 hours with them in their truck. That's fantastic. Because this is the opportunity to do that. When we're big, we will not have that opportunity. So right now, absolutely. We go out and visit every property. We help them with the listing. We'll take photos. We'll set up trail cams. It's a lot of fun.
Hi, I am a daughter of a landowner. Part of the appeal to that culture of getting permission for the secret fishing hole is the solitude. So do you limit the reservations, and how do they know that the owner, they don't want the owner to come out and talk to them for 5 hours? How do you?
Totally understood. One thing that we failed to share is that when somebody is renting one of these pieces of property, they're doing so on an exclusive basis. So it's not you and 5 other members who are going to be out there. It's going to be you, and if you choose, based on however many members the landowner is allowing, if you you would like to invite guests or people to come along, you certainly can, but you have use of that property for your own purposes for that, whatever length of your reservation.
One at a time.
One at a time.
Perfect.
Okay? Second thing is, one of the things that we have as just a foundational element of our company is, if you're not aware of this, hunting and even fishing has seen an incredible atrophy over the last 50 years. Like, there's not as many people going out and doing it. And that's not necessarily because there's less desire to do it. It's because the access to land has made it nearly impossible, so people are giving up. Well, what's happening is that the next generation isn't getting that experience. The baton isn't getting passed along. So the single biggest group of members that we have are, one, people who aren't from around here. Okay, so we call them our transplants. And whether that's active duty military or somebody who's been moved to an area because of work or whatever it may be, they don't have those natural connections in the area. And so because they don't have a network to tap into, they just don't try. And we allow them to be able to immediately plug in as if they've lived someplace their entire life. But the second largest, and I used to call this parents, but I'm going to just for a moment say it's primarily dads, are parents and dads who want to be able to take their sons and daughters out and get them to experience these things in a safe, private, exclusive type of experience so that they can find that love for it and pass that on and have that child say, that was really cool. We say all the time, you know what's better than playing on a game in virtual reality? Reality. Get out there and see a living creature out there. Whether you've got a gun in your hand or a camera in your hand, I don't care. Get out there and experience it. And it's essential for us, if we're going to keep these traditions alive, for that love affair to be created early and in a safe environment. Yes, sir?
Do you have to be a member to use the service?
Yes, you have to be a member, or as a member you can bring guests with you, but those guests are not going to be able to go out without you and or make reservations on their own. But everybody in our system, whether it's a guest or a member, all has to pass a background check. Everybody has to let us know who they are and make sure that there's no fake identities and circumventing it from that situation. So we've made a very, very firm stance to protect our landowners that we're going to go to that time and expense. There's a significant cost associated with it to make sure that everybody